Welcome to the Who's Got Next Sports Showcase, bringing you Who's Got Next. I'm here with one of my favorite athletes around this area, class of 2017 prospect at Vision Academy, Mr. Caleb Thomas. Caleb, how you doing, man?
Doing well.
All right.
Good to be here, thank you.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's one of those things we've been kind of talking, and we finally had the opportunity to sit down, man, and talk a little recruiting, talk about what you got going on in the community, talk about, things really going real well for you. Going into your junior year, man, a lot of big expectations, you know what I'm saying, out there for you. Know that you have the game and the mindset to, step up to the plate. Let's go ahead and roll into it. For those coaches out there that are paying attention, give those coaches your height, your weight, and as well as your ACT and GPA.
Well, my name is Caleb Thomas, 6'1", point guard and shooting guard. My GPA is a 3.2 right now, and my recent ACT score is a 22.
Definitely. Caleb's one of those young men you don't have to worry about him in the classroom. Going to be a leader for any program that he has the opportunity to play for next level. Lofty expectations for this young man. He has big dreams, but has the ability and the plan to put those dreams in place to facilitate those things. And, as a part of what we're doing here, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that the school of his dreams knows about him and he has the opportunity to attend the school of his dream. With that being said, let's talk a little bit about your game. We got some of the highlights kind of showing right now. Talk to us about some of the strengths of your game and then some of the challenges that you see in your game right now.
One of the strengths of my game is definitely being a playmaker in the clutch. Mid-game situations, we are down by 10. I can definitely come in and provide the basket or give the ball to the person who can provide the basket. Weakness I know of right now is stamina and fatigue. I know I get fatigued really fast, but that just comes with slowing the game down.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I kind of agree with. Just looking at a few of your highlights, you're one of those ones, and you can play the two because you had the ability to shoot the three. But when you facilitating, you pretty much control the tempo. You're trying to, if it's needed to speed it up, you speed it up. Now sometimes that comes back, like you said, is one of your challenges. Right. And by the third, fourth quarter, you kind of breathing hard a little bit. Right. But as you continue to develop and build up your endurance, that's one of the things that we're not worried about. In terms of colleges, let's go ahead and talk about what are you looking for in a college program? What kind of player are they getting with a player like yourself?
Well, it's a cliche to say they're getting leadership and hard work, but as an athlete and a businessman, I know coaches would like consistency in a program from a player. I provide consistency and hard work, dedication to the game. 100% of my time goes into whatever I'm doing. I never do anything halfway. And the colleges, like a college program that I'm interested in, expects nothing more of me than I expect of me.
Definitely, and I know that's one of the things that's going to be big. One of the things that we do here, we try to provide an avenue for players to really empower themselves. Put yourself out here, market yourself, bring yourself to these colleges out here and let them know, hey man, I'm interested in attending your school. What do you have to offer? And here are some of the things that I bring to a program. You mentioned a lot of things that you got going on in the community. You mentioned the fact that you're a businessman. For those coaches that don't know that much about you, talk to them, man. Let them know a little bit about it. You told me off camera you're getting ready to work on your second book, so that means you've already done the first one and put it out. Let these coaches know you're more than just an athlete, man. You're a student first. That definitely, goes without saying with your mom. But let them know who you are as a person, man, out in the community, and like you said, as a business person.
Well, to start off, my name is Caleb Thomas. Actually, I am a 16-year-old businessman. The name of my business is King's Creations, and what I've done in the community, one of the things I've done is I have 3-on-3 Hooping for J's tournament. In the winner of the tournament is provided 3 pair of $200 gift cards for the Jordans that come out the following weekend. After that, I've written my first book. The name of the book is Caleb is Ready. And it was about a traumatic event that happened in my life that changed my life for the rest of it. And my second book is currently being written. I'm just going with the flow right now. It doesn't have a title yet, but I'm just going with the flow. And other than that, I do community work with my team of Vision Academy, and I go to the local fruit distribution place, and I, pass out bags of food to the homeless and the people that need help, and that's what I'm doing.
Definitely. Caleb is one of those young men that, like I said, I have no problem sticking my neck out on the line saying, this is a quality young man. He's a leader. He's going to give you everything that he's got on the court. He's going to be one of those guys in the program that's going to get on the other players, making sure they're doing their homework, making sure they're going to study hall, making sure that, they bring the right attitude day in and day out, not just during game time, but when it comes to practice. He's going to be one of the leaders that's leading the practice. This is a guy that is a program builder. And one of the things that we're going to continue to do is just make you more aware of this young man, what's happening with him, what's going on, where he's playing at in the summer, the things that he's got going on. So, you can get on the Caleb Thomas train because it's definitely going to continue to pick up. Now, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about player comparisons. It could be somebody in the NBA, it could be somebody in college. Who do you feel like your game is like right now?
Well, I've been told one of the people my games is like is D'Angelo Russell. But I feel like, I'm not a real cocky person. I don't show really any emotion on the court, so I compare my own self to a Damian Lillard type, or when I do get hot, it turns into more of a Russell Westbrook kind of player.
Yeah, I agree. We had the opportunity to kind of talk a little bit off camera, why you felt that way. And I see the Damian Lillard comparison for your game as well. One of the things that I say, you're a real cerebral player. I may have mentioned it earlier, you're looking to make the best basketball decision on both sides of the court, whether it's defensively as well as offensively, and, looking to play the 1 and the 2 next level. I think that's one of the attributes that coaches will definitely love about your game is this is the guy that can represent the coach on the floor. Not looking to take the place of the coach, but a coach being able to entrust that the system that he wants to run can be ran through you as it relates to going on the floor. Let's talk a little bit about, I know a school around here is showing some interest in you right now, still very, very early on in your recruiting, but talk to us a little bit about the school that's showing interest in you right now.
Louisiana Tech has been sending me a lot of emails and packages in the mail, not only for the athletic ability, but for the ACT. I've sent my scores to them twice, and as it increases every time, well, I've only taken it twice, but as it increases, I continue to promote myself doing that.
Definitely, Tech is one of those programs that's on the rise. Just recently had a coaching change, bringing in a new coach who hopefully continue to develop where the past coach left off and build up from there. So that's definitely a huge look for you as well to have Louisiana Tech onto you right now. But we know that's going to continue to ramp up. We just want to take time to thank those Louisiana Tech coaches and staff for showing interest in Caleb right now, because that's definitely big. And I know a lot of people around town wouldn't be mad if you stayed around and played in Ruston for a few years. But it's plenty of time for decisions to be made right now. It's just continue to get the right information out there about Caleb. For those college coaches out there that maybe watching this video, they've heard about Caleb Thomas, they've come to a few games, they've come to a few camps, they really want to recruit you, man. What's a way that they can get in contact with you?
My email address is calebthomas3@gmail.com.
Okay. We'll make sure we put that information up on the screen. Caleb is going to continue to be one of those names that you hear about from this particular area. And this is all about making sure that college coaches out there had the opportunity to not miss out on the prospect of the level of Caleb Thomas. As I said before, one of those guys that I don't have any doubts about saying is a program maker, a program changer. Going to come in and be one of those guys that's going to help you in recruiting. When you land a young man like Caleb Thomas, you're not just getting just a player. You're getting a student first, you're getting an athlete second. But he's one of those guys that loves to win, hates to lose. You're going to see that in his highlights. And he's going to be one of those guys that's going to say, hey, what does it take? Are we trying to get this particular guy? What can I do to help this guy? So this is going to be one of those young men that you have to pay attention to. So you coaches out there, make sure you get in contact with Caleb Thomas. We'll have his information up on the screen. You can always get at us on Twitter at GetRecruited365. We'll pass on whatever information to Caleb. This is all about Caleb getting recruited and getting to his dream school. We'd like to thank you for tuning in.